Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And what we're going to make are cookies, but we're going to make coconut shortbread. Somebody recently wrote to me and said they'd like to see more cookie recipes where no eggs are being used. And I have several of them. I've got a lot of cookies and cakes that don't require eggs. But anyway, I like this because I really think shortbread cookies are fantastic. But to have coconut in them, well, it just makes them that much better. And it's a quick and it's a very easy recipe. And for you those that have watched my videos in the past, and I do appreciate that, you know I like very quick, fast, and easy recipes, but I want them to have a good taste too. So let's get started. First, we're going to start off with 1 cup of butter, and I would suggest for you to keep it at room temperature because you want it to be able to cream very easily for you. I cut mine up in little pieces because, again, I think it's so much quicker to do that and do it for the video. Now you can certainly use your hand mixer if you don't want to use your stand-up, but I like to use my stand because it's much quicker and faster for the video. So I'm going to warn you about the sound, and we're just going to cream this butter and break it up. Okay, now once you do that, and of course depending on the speed it might take you longer than that, but you know, wait till it's combined and that it's creamy. The next thing you're going to put in is a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar to your butter. With that till, of course, it's very well combined, that kind of thing. The next thing you're going to put in is 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and we'll beat that in. And then I'm just going to work the sides of my mixing bowl here a little bit because it does tend to stick to the sides and at the bottom, so I like to do that so that we can, you know, get everything combined. And stay with that mixture for maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3. It really depends on your speed. The next thing that you're going to do is to work on the dry ingredients. And with a little whisk or a spoon or a fork, I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. By the way, I no longer put the recipe below the video, and I'll explain later. But I hope I went through the ingredients clear enough so that if you are taking notes and you want to give this recipe a try, you'll be able to write them down. So that was 2 cups of all-purpose flour and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And now I'm going to combine it with the butter mixture a little at a time so that I don't have flour all over the kitchen. Okay, this seems to be the tricky part of these cookies, but it's not really tricky, but you might feel like it's going to slow you down because you have to wait till it really comes together and makes like a cookie ball. Essentially, you're cutting that butter into that flour. I'm going to just put this kitchen towel over it. I'm going to warn you about the sound, and I'm going to raise my speed to move it along. do that, then it's going to be a crumbly type mixture, but it's starting to come together as you see. Now you're going to add 2 cups, and I'm using flaked sweetened coconut. Now if you don't want to use the sweetened, you can use unsweetened, and these cookies, I've done it. They really do taste really good. I'm going to put my towel back on just so that I want to raise my speed. Okay, then at that time you start to see it all, you know, to kind of clump together because it's making the cookie ball. I'll take off the excess here and I'm going to show you what that looks like. And you know, stay with it till the whole bowl has been cleaned. In other words, all the ingredients have been pulled together, okay? And then just with your hands, you know, bring that all together like that. So you have a nice cookie ball, okay? So you get the idea. All right, now let's push that aside for the moment. Now what I do is I will get a knife here and I cut it in half. Get a bigger knife. I cut the cookie dough in half. Get that out of the way. Okay, and then with 2 pieces of wax paper, of course I'm only going to do 1. What you'll want to do is to roll it out into like a log or like a Tootsie Roll, if you know what I mean by that. The shape of the famous candy, and just roll it out. It will be a little bit crumbly. It's a little bit, you know, difficult to work with when it's like this, but it will come together. Now this cookie dough does need to be chilled or refrigerated for at least 2 hours, or you can refrigerate it wrapped in your wax paper for up to 3 days. And I will tell you, I like to leave it more than 2 hours. In fact, the cookies that I'll be showing you in just a few moments, I actually did do 3 days on them. And when you break them up, I think they are crisper, but yet chewier, and they melt in your mouth. Now, if you don't want to do that, certainly take them out after 2 hours and, you know, go ahead and, you know, start working with them. And just make a nice log out of them. And then take your wax paper and roll it up. And I actually roll them in another kitchen towel and put that in your refrigerator for at least 2 hours, or like I said, up to 3 days. Then all you have to do is, when they're ready, is to take them out and slice them. So it's really quick. I'm going to put that aside for the moment. And let me just kind of clean the counter here a little bit. Okay. Now, what you're also going to be needing is a cup of powdered sugar. And I want to explain just a little bit more about these cookies. I'm going to rinse my hands here. Okay. Now, once you take the cookies out of, you know, being chilled for 2 hours, or again, up to 3 days, you'll need a cookie pan or a cookie sheet or that kind of thing. Now, I do have one in the refrigerator, so I'm gonna grab it to show you. And again, you notice I still roll them in a kitchen towel. You don't have to, but okay. And then just unroll it like this. And this one has, like I said, this has been actually chilled and refrigerated for 3 days. So it's really nicer, you know, you can handle it, that kind of thing. I'm just gonna step out of the camera's way and grab my knife. Which I forgot. So sorry about that. And then cut them about 1/4 of an inch in thickness. And you won't have to spray your tray. If you want to use your mats, your silicone mats or your parchment paper, feel free. Or like mine, I really don't even have anything down. You don't have to grease it, don't have to spray it. And then do space them. You know, I would space them at least a couple inches. And then you can take your fingertips and just round them out a little bit. You know, if when you cut them that, you know, they might slightly lose their shape, and then put them down like that. Now, I'm not going to bore you to cut all those cookies, but about 1/4 inch. Now, you'll generally get about 4 dozen cookies if you make them that way. If you make them thicker, you're going to get less. I wouldn't suggest to make them too thick because these particular cookies, you bake them at 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and they take anywhere from 18 to 20 minutes. So, you know, if you're going to cut them thicker, they're going to take longer to bake. Now, when they do bake up, I want to show you, they will look like this. They will have a hard, crispy top on them as well as the bottom. Now, you want to bake them only till they turn a golden brown. If they get darker than that, they're going to be drier. It's going to be a drier cookie and you might not like it. Now, where we talked about that 1 cup of powdered sugar, after they come out and you put them on a cooling rack, you know, wait about 5 minutes. And then what I like to do is I actually just roll the cookie into the powdered sugar like that. And this is going to give it the added sweetness and really blend nicely with that coconut, okay? And let me show you these. And this is how they'll come out, or the presentation will look like. They are great tasting little cookies. When you bite into them, okay, again, they'll have a harder surface on the top and the bottom and then the sides, but when you break open, they will have a chew, a moistness to them. They have about, I would say, medium density. They're not real heavy, dry, dense cookies. They have that nice chew to them, and then they melt in your mouth, and then you can really taste that butter in these cookies, and they really are delicious, and they're so easy to make. Now, again, I'm sorry that I no longer put the ingredients down due to so many people, and I'm not alone on this, that have taken my work, post them, pin them, take my work, claim it as theirs. And I always say to everybody, you know what, if you try this recipe, leave a comment, because I'd like to hear from you. Well, going back to those not printing out the ingredients, I see people that have written to me or have a question or a comment, and it's pretty frustrating for me to not be able to answer you. So if you solely watch me on YouTube, because that's the only place that I put my videos, and you write a question or you write a comment, I will do my very best in a timely fashion to answer you. And I really appreciate you watching. In fact, if you're so inclined and you'd like to like the video, that would be great. Or even subscribe to my channel. I believe I have over, I think 700 videos, and I have been very lucky to have over 20,000 subscribers. So I would love for you to check out my channel if you have time. So give these coconut shortbread cookies a try. I think you're really gonna like them. So I want to thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. Stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.